Good evening and welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's MATCHFIT's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's LMU Series, 2025 LMU Series. It's Season 9 for Rainlight Racing, giving the LMU platform a crack, and good on them. We are loving it. As usual, brought to you by the good people at SIMBLACKS and broadcast to you live here on the YouTubes by MATCHFIT Entertainment. MATCHFIT Entertainment means Davo's here, myself, and J-Man right by my side. How you doing, my friend?
Davo, evening everybody. I'm aboard to, it's round 3 here at Rainlight Racing in the LMU Series. Monza without the first chicane. So straight down into Curva Grande will be the drivers tonight every lap. And I tell you what, man, that is fantastic to watch, Davo, when you see them ripping in there at every bit of 275 odd k an hour.
Yeah.
And then scrambling for the middle pedal as they head into effectively turn 2-3, which is the first chicane for them tonight. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be the scenario, it'll be the destination of a bit of mischief, I think, tonight.
Oh, look, I love it. I love Monza without a chicane, but look, I really do think it's just moving the chaos down further down the track.
Shifting the goalpost slightly.
Just a little. So, yeah, awesome stuff, J-Man.
Yeah, be certainly interesting to see, but hey, official practice been and done. Obviously, the guys and girls are out there in Q1 here, the one and only qualifying session. Obviously, it is a 15-minute session all in, which will set the grid for what will be a 60-minute race. Mandated, I guess, compulsory pit stops by way of fuel and virtual energy.
Yes.
We'll come to terms with this virtual energy, as is some of those, as we saw a little bit of a shake up in round 2 when they went to, I believe it was Algarve Portimao, and yeah, interesting stuff. But look, we saw times as low as very low 140s. Will we see some 39s? I think potentially. Track conditions. I'll try and get a read on these track conditions right now, Davo, and see what we're dealing with. Okay, so forecast looking good. 20 degrees across the board throughout the session. It is 5 past the hour of 6 in the evening as we speak, and there we go. 40.7. Steve Crossan. He was the fast guy in practice 1 with a low 40 in there. But you better believe that the likes of Hemi Bateman, Matty Clark, I do see, Gunther Rowe, Craig McConnell really performing well in LMU. So
yes, so a couple of names to definitely look out for. Cameras on Craig McConnell in the Mustang at the moment. J-Man, as he just runs down to the parabolic car. And yeah, watch these times unfold here. Like we just mentioned, it is Monza. I think we are at freaking round 3 here tonight. And these guys definitely getting their heads around the LMU platform at the moment. Craig McConnell and Gunther Rowe particularly. There you go, Gunther, provisional second, J-Man. And through where normally you would see a chicane at Monza for turn 1, but no, they fly around this flat chat right-hand sweeper and down to the next chicane here, and it's a big stop.
Yeah, it sure is. Pete Dawson provisionally to the top now on a 40.5 over Crossan's 40.7. Ichikawa, good performance so far out of him already, with just under half the session gone. Gunther Rowe, 41.0. So how does Costas Makrolos fare tonight in the Mustang on this track? Different platform. This is a guy that's very, very comfortable in ACC, various different cars. So it'll be interesting to see how Costas goes here.
Oh, yeah, look, absolutely. good numbers here tonight. 20 on the grid so far. J-Man.
21.
21. There you go. So
Yep,
Pete
no.
Dawson up the pointy end. Provisional first. Steve Crossland second. Isaac Ichikawa third. Gunther Rowe fourth. Craig McConnell fifth. All provisional, of course, as we have about another 8 minutes to go. Nick Firth provisionally sixth. George Goddard, Mr. Fackery, I think you just mentioned as well. J-Man.
I think it was times to come.
Yeah, I think
Bateman.
it was actually Costas you were talking about there, J-Man. Yes, but yeah, look, times are coming thick and fast, and there it is, Bateman to the top.
Matty Clark up to P3 too on that lap as well, so plenty going on. Evening, Lily.
Welcome aboard, everyone.
Crossland now eclipses them on a 40.1, so the last man from practice steps it up a notch again, goes to 40.1.
Definitely getting a handle on the McLaren here at Monza. Round 3, ladies and gentlemen, in Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU series here. It is season 9 for Rainlight Racing, and we are here at Monza in the LMU GT3s. Looking stellar, J-Man. Looking forward to this one, actually. Monza, with or without the chicane, always delivers some great racing. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Bewley in 7th, J-Man. One of the Mustang.
Yeah, good performance out of Bewley last week. Had him on the podium.
Yeah.
Look, definitely. And Matty Clark be looking to make amends for his, I guess, shortcomings in what was just an energy and a pit repair discrepancy, I think, from last week. So,
yes.
Look, these guys and girls will get better week by week as they go along with this platform, and they come to terms with all the little things that they've got to get their head around with a new platform. So I think at this point they're doing an amazing job, as is Rainlight Racing. I mean, 21 on grid to take a big, bold step into the site. I just applaud these guys at the moment, and They're getting the sport out on track, so it's fantastic to see. Okay, so Shane Fodderdo, one that we broadcast a fair bit of. No, he's a handy steerist, coming to terms with this thing. He's just about to cross the line. He's currently P19, goes up to P14. Not somewhere he's probably familiar on the grid to be sitting, but he'll race well either way, no matter where he qualifies.
Yeah, so Crossland just rolling out of the pit lane again. I suspect a new set of boots on that car, but look, the board moving around considerably. I think we're only calling Craig McConnell in 5th only moments ago, already back and out of the top 10 in 11th position. So time's coming thick and fast. Matty Clark, like you mentioned, another one coming to terms with the new LMU platform, as is a lot of these boys. But there's a good handful of guys in here who've done some practice, J-Man, and are well up to speed already. The likes of Crossland, Bateman, Gunther Rowe, Ichikawa, and Dawson and the like. Tony Spence also in again tonight. Bewley, Goddard, and Nick Firth just hanging in on that top 10.
Top 10, yeah, for sure. It's really tight.
Just coming through the back chicane there.
Fodderdo coming through with a slightly better Sector 1, Sector 2, heads down to Parabolica as we speak. So it'll be interesting to see what this lap delivers. Currently there on a 1.4. So it's a 1:41 with a 4. Looks to go a little bit better. Can he break the top 10? Here's your answer. No, he can't. So, as you mentioned, Crossy on an outlap in there on a 40.0. Can we see a 39 be delivered here? That'd be fantastic to see.
Well, here we go. Start of
He's
his
nearly
flying
40.
lap after returning to the pits. There for a new set of boots. Back out on track again. And looking hot tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, and, Crossy knows the importance of qualifying here with this current configuration of the racetrack, with obviously no first chicane and then hurtling down through Curva Grande, turn 1, having that fresh air and the option to be first on the road down through the second chicane, heading down to the Lesmos,
yep,
would be a bloody big advantage. He knows it. I think a lot of them out there will know how much, because the reality is by the time you get row 2, 3, 4 back, these guys are going to go too wide down through there for sure, because they're going to come through Curva Grande too wide. There is the room. It'll be a braking duel down to turn 2, 3.
Without a doubt. And then down into this back chicane here. J-Man, remind me, what do they call this one?
Where are you talking, mate?
The last chicane, the final.
Ascari, mate.
Ascari, of course it is. And
yep,
we can see just crossing there, actually warming tyres there, even on this hot lap. So trying to get a little bit of temperature into the rubber on that car as he rounds the parabolica and back out, and looks like heading across the line for another long. Bateman now pipping him.
39.9, there it is.
There
First
it is.
of the 39. So he did have just under 4/10 of a second on Daniel Hemi Bateman there. So
yeah,
he
nice.
responds now.
Yeah, so Bateman, well done for Bateman. The only Corvette actually in the field, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So nice work from Hemi there. But Crossy, hot on his heels as we speak. Gunther Rowe, provisional third at the moment. Glowing brake discs on the number 46 BMW as he rounds the parabolica and across the line.
Can he deliver
for another flying lap?
Tony Spence with a good performance at the moment. I think you might have mentioned as well. Currently sitting P5. Got it parked in the pit box with 40 seconds to go. Few guys out there retired now, probably around nearly half the field giving it away. Although there were a couple of guys that are actually on their outlap, and they are going to get an option on there. Chris Croat out of P12. He's coming down towards Parabolica. 22 seconds to go. He's going to get across the line. I think also a couple others there that I can see. Now Crossy out of Parabolica. What's the time to say? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, did he get across? I think he did. I think he might have timed that perfectly.
Geez, if he did, J-Man, that was close.
Yeah, I think there was only a second, and it'll be interesting to see what that looks like on paper. But look, he's hard on the throttle through Curva Grande at the moment. Lots of sparks showering off the front left splitter of the McLaren through there. So he's pressing on. It indicates to us that he definitely got across the line in time. Fires it down through the second chicane. Lots of curb, up in the air, 2 wheels. Crossy digging deep. Can he get the other side of the road? He's provisionally the front row, so he's done half the job.
Well, he has, hasn't he? But, yeah, always pushing. And we did talk about, like the importance of track position here at Monza, J-Man. And, like you take that one chicane out of it, there's not a hell of a lot of corners at Monza in the first place. But you take that chicane out and...
Lee Perkins just steps out the way.
I saw that.
While he's done.
Yeah,
Crossy looks good through Ascari.
Quick flash of the headlights from Crossy.
Sideways. Big wiggle, but he gathers it up. I wonder what that'll cost him on the Delta.
Oh, you'd think it would have cost him somewhat. And you can just see the body language of these cars. Crossy's car set up nice and soft, really tips into the corners, hence the sparks off the front splitter.
0.111 is the margin. He needs just over a 10th and a quarter to do the business. He's pressing on right to the end. It's obviously going to be tight. Not quite. Doesn't do it. Doesn't improve. So
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Last out on track, Steve Crossland there, J-Man. Let's get, what do we do here? We'll click this button.
What was his last lap? His last lap was a 140.4. So he was around about 0.3 off his best.
Yeah.
0.4. Yep. So there you go. You at any point in time going forward shortly, Davo can probably go through forward to setting the starting order.
Here we
can
go.
probably call down through that if you like.
There it is. Hemi Bateman, J-Man, on the top of the list.
Yep.
Gunther Rowe in the BMW. Tony Spence. Why did it miss Steve Crossland out there? That was interesting. Sorry, if that's might be a little bit of a bug.
I may have just wanted him to go back to pits first before you did it.
Okay, yep. George Goddard in 9th position. Nick Firth and Joseph Marnie in 11th, 10th and 11th respectively. Craig McConnell and Chris Croat. Shane Fodderdo, it's missing every second driver on our little bit of software here for some reason. Anyway.
No, yeah, sorry, Davo. It's still in the holding and qualifying session. You may have to let it go through to race.
Oh, okay, let's just click that off and we'll go again in a moment.
Yeah, we'll go again. Sorry, viewers, we're trying to just get our head around the
We are learning. We are learning. Yes, we are learning here as much as the boys on the grid are. Okay, let's do that again. Daniel Hemi Bateman.
Yep.
First on the grid, J-Man. Still missing every second driver there. So that's just a little bit of software issue there.
Yeah, so it is. However, as you mentioned, Gunther Rowe from P3, Ichikawa, Tony Spence in 5th, Pete Dawson, Nathan Bewley on the next row. And then we go to Matty Clark, George Goddard, 8th and 9th. Nick Firth does hold down that top 10, 10th position with Joseph Marnie. Then we see Craig McConnell, Chris Croat, side by side, 12th and 13th. Edward Thackeray, Shane Fodderdo, 14th, 15th. Merlin the Magician, aka Perko, there beside Costas Makrolos, Ken Worcester and Sam Wozniak, 18, 19. And then we do have Adrian Kramer and Lily Glass sharing the final row for 20th and 21st on what will be a pretty frantic 60 minutes here at Monza. Yeah, not sure, Lily. We'll work our way through that. We did have I guess we did have it working a week or so ago, but you look, amazing what 7 days does. Right.
Formation lap has started.
Does they start the cars, Davo? Looks
yes,
like
yes.
they started them at Ascari, is it?
Yeah. Look, it's just before the parabolica by the looks of it. They're only just going to roll around this final corner here. Got to thank SIMBLACKS once again back on board with Rainlight Racing, MATCHFIT Entertainment, broadcasting to you live here again tonight on the YouTubes. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like and subscribe button. You have joined us here tonight for Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU series, and we have a green light. And what a great start from the two on the front road. Steve Cross and Daniel Heavy Bateman run down.
Rossi looking like he's got the jump too, Davo.
Bateman flashing the headlights. Contact between Gunther and Spence as they run side by side into one, and it is flat out, and it's gone.
I hear panels. I hear some big carnage somewhere. Okay, I'm not sure where that was.
Nick Firth with a wheel missing. Background factory track.
Oh no, it is torn.
Got Marnie, I think we got Worcester as well, and maybe Kramer and a few other guys actually down in the back. A lot of carnage in the background. We've got to get back up the pointy end though, J-Man. Steve Crossland running away from Tony. So Bateman
loses that position early.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was Gunther Rowe beside him in the BMW, but it was it's Ichikawa there. So I think it was Ichikawa and Bateman that were banging doors through one there. So plenty of time, plenty going on in the background here. Look at this, Bonato with Croat.
Yeah, he's managed to grab 5 spots on lap 1.
Yeah, a lot going on back there.
Oh, he's going to lose one here. A little bit shaky up into the parabolica.
He's definitely going to lose one there, mate.
And that's Goddard up the inside. It's going to be a drag race down to Curva Grande.
And it is just that, side by side.
And that's Merlin the Magician with Pete Dawson tucked up in behind him. And these guys really, really close as they head down into this super fast right-hander.
Oh, look at them. 2 up, side by side, 2 rows. Just equalises a little bit there. Awesome.
Oh, they sorted out before they get to the chicane.
Just sorted it out though, J-Man. That was close.
Oh, Firthy, I feel for your brother. That was a bad moment.
Mark, Firth, Factory as well, all retiring pretty much in the first corner as we pick back up on Tony Spence in the red McLaren. I keep thinking it's a bloody Ferrari because it's bright red, but it's not. It's a McLaren, and Spence doing a fantastic job chasing down Steve Crossland as we speak, first and second respectively.
Look at Hemi Bateman covering as they head down to Parabolica from Ichikawa. So Ichikawa got a heap of pace on tonight in their BMW. Looks super good as they tip it into Parabolica. He's right up underneath them.
Look at that bit of a slide, I think, for Bateman in the Corvette just as they ran out of that corner. Didn't do his progress any favours at all. You can see Clarkey in the background there as well.
Look at Ichikawa underneath the wing. Tucks out, pulls out just before they get to Curva Grande. Got some nice draft. Hemi Bateman will have the left-hand line.
If he can hold it, J-Man.
Yeah, through this right-hander, it'll be the shortest distance will be to Ichikawa.
Oh, big brakes.
Side by side.
Big brakes in the Corvette. They are side by side and both through the chicane. The beautiful work. But look at that.
Clark.
That's Clarkey.
Yeah. Just gave him a little tap as they came out of there, heading down to Lesmo 1. The interim, what's the gap? 2.3 seconds now. Steve Crossland over Tony Spence. Feel like this is Crossy's night tonight. He looked good in official practice, put it on the front row in qualifying, and he's got a heap of car speed on board. So if he can manage the fuel and the virtual energy, could be a good night for Crossy.
Well, if nothing else, fantastic start from both himself and Sven. Bateman got shuffled back at least one position there, but still in the hunt with an intense battle going on with Ichikawa as we speak. Gunther Rowe.
Matty Clark, yep.
And Matty Clark.
And who's that? That's Nathan Bewley tucked in behind as well. So the three of these guys, all with strong showings over the first 2 rounds in this LMU series. So both of them, actually all 3 of them looking good so far this series. Also Costas Makrolos now starting to make inroads into Sam Wozniak. Looking like he's actually going to take, I think, Kramer with him. Or are they starting to approach it up on Furco?
And it's Fodeno gone backwards there, J-Man. I sort of feel like he has that.
Yeah, he was up as far as P10. And he went to 11th when we saw him in the battle, which at the time was with George Goddard. Now, George Goddard has gone to P9 and Fodeno back to 16th, so he's definitely gone the wrong direction. He has got Lily Glass just up ahead. But also McConnell a long way back, and not sure if that Mustang's bonnet looking like it's got a fair bit of damage on it. Pretty busy. Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe. Good battle forming there, Davo. Gunther Rowe with good line through Parabolica there. Tucked right up underneath the wing of Matty Clark now. Flashing the lights too. Knows what's at stake.
He's hungry. Oh, so close.
It almost looked like there was a little bit of gamesmanship there, a little bit of, I don't know, pushing of air or something going on. We're still trying to work our way around this platform, and does that help them both? Him sitting that close underneath the wing. Oh, Clark a lot better through the chicane than Rowe that time. That battle forming Tony Spence, Emmy Bateman and Ichikawa. That's a worthy battle as well, Davo. Only around about 3/10 of a second separating Bateman from Ichikawa. And about 7/10 for Hemi Bateman, Tony Spence. So BMWs do look good here tonight. Now, Hemi Bateman with a good run through Ascari starts closing the gap as they head down to Parabolica on Tony Spence, and he's taking Isaac with him. That margin just crushes ever so slightly. G'day, Wazza. Good to have you tuning into the broadcast, mate. Fodeno, Worcester. So Fodeno's trying to make his way back. He got through on Lily Glass the lap before. Starts putting some heat on Ken Worcester. Ken Worcester always got a good fan club, always in the stream. Bobby Louise and co. Giving you support there for Mr. Worcester. Pete Dawson, a long way back. Pete made a stop, Davo. Have a look on our data there.
Quite possibly.
Just try and have a look on our
He
data
is
there.
1 lap down, so, and definitely not in the list of DNF drivers, so I suspect he may have been the first pit stopper.
Okay.
Oh, actually, he's just rolling in now.
He's rolling back in, so something's going on there, Pete.
Has he had trouble with his VE there? or fuel, or both.
Maybe. Okay. So he gets that thing off the jacks and away again. Try and just get a read on what's going on inside that car. 85% on the energy. They sorted there. Only about 10.5 minutes. Is it? Hang on. Have been running this race. Crossan out there doing a beautiful job.
Oh, Stella. Look, I mean, no, not the only one to have struggled over the past few weeks. For one reason or another, J-Man, but, you know, really looks like he's put some practice in this week and doing a stellar job. Bateman all over the back of Ichikawa there. Matty Clark staying well in touch, albeit looking very loose sometimes, as is Gunther Rowe behind him in the BMW. But Spence, Crosland's just driving away from these guys at the moment.
Yeah.
Because Spence not too far in front of Ichikawa.
Chris Croak starting to make a bit of an attack now
Yep.
on Goddard. So I think Goddard actually had got through there at some point, or maybe that was on Merlin. Few cars looking a little bit sketchy down through Ascari, so the car's a little bit loose there, but man, they look solid through Parabolica.
Out of Hemi Bateman's Corvette at the moment.
Oh, look at that, 250.
And look at the run he gets on Ichikawa.
Goes past him at 272.
On the inside here. That Corvette just punching through the air easily. No draft. Ichikawa out wide.
Oh, big, deep under brakes. Can he make the apex? We can with a little bit of contact.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a touch-up. Got a little bit untidy there. That is, it looks like
Gunther
Gunther Rowe sneaking in there. Just can't take it very much. I'll take that one.
Yeah,
And it puts Ichikawa. Yes, vulnerable to Bewley there in the background, J-Man. So, yeah, tricky little situation there.
Yeah, he didn't want to give that one up. He was pretty deep under brakes into turn 2.
On Bateman there, yeah.
Yep.
And
Bateman will have a little bit of side damage. Now, one of the things we got out of last week was that... now, who was that?
That's
That's him.
Bateman letting Gunther go.
Wow, okay. So that's interesting. So was the fact that they didn't opt to take off of damage and it cost some of the drivers in pit lane. So that'll be just something that some of these drivers may or may not have learnt from last week, which has a big impact on the transit time through the pit lane. But that was interesting. That was a soft let go. I'm not sure what that was all about,
Yeah,
but it almost looked like he just let him go.
Well, I wonder whether Bateman's car's damaged. I mean, these guys, this platform is... The cars are more sensitive to a little bit of beat. They get beaten a little bit, aren't they, J-Man? So, you know, maybe that contact there might have caused a bit of a problem. So
It's got some good straight line speed still. Not as much as he had before. He is down probably 4k an hour on the lap before.
Yeah,
so a
I
little
wonder.
bit of road damage. Cost.
and possibly a bit of steering damage, but here comes Ichikawa again. He's just like, it's not over yet. Oh, Gunther so sideways in front of Bateman there.
He was. And look at this, has become a four-way because Bewley's well on the
there.
hunt here now.
Yep.
Bateman sideways out of Lesmo too then.
Oh, and on the brakes from Bateman. Actually behind Gunther though. Interesting. Slight tap of the brakes there, just to stay behind that car of Gunther Rowe.
Chikawa right underneath the wing, and I think that Bateman car has lost some terminal speed because we saw it 2 laps ago and it was rapid in a straight line.
I wonder whether that's got a little bit of damage, and we see contact again. Chikawa and Bateman. Oh, Bewley only just passed. Goddard will be the next car. Be a few here, Merlin.
See if you can hook reverse. That's a really dangerous spot to be sitting. Oh, he goes back to pit lane.
So Merlin,
left Bateman.
There you go. Merlin would have been the next car around. So tough call for Bateman.
So that brings Matty Clark. Now he is up into a podium spot.
And just look at Bewley now tucked in behind. Is that Goddard in the?
Yes.
In the other Mustang there. There's 3 of them in a row now. So yeah, Chris Croat, Nathan Bewley, George Goddard. 3 closest cars on the track at the moment, apart from, I think Ichikawa. Ichikawa took a bit of a hit there, obviously, getting tangled up with Bateman.
Yep.
Looks like he's pulling the car up as well, J-Man. So that car not healthy. Ichikawa back to the pits. Early.
I think that sees the better part of, I think, 7 cars out of 21 disabled inside what is to be, the first 17 minutes of this race.
Hey, and it's a good chunk of the bloody top 10 too, to be honest, isn't it? So,
it is. Yep.
Yeah, so really going to shuffle that field up. We've still got over 40 minutes of racing yet to go.
Yep.
Field of cars is dropping, becoming a war of attrition. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 7 cars out already. Clark looking speedy in the Aston. He's carrying the best lap time for the race so far, J-Man.
He is. He is absolutely stomping.
Oh, and look at the attitude on that thing, just coming out of the second of the Lesmos there, just literally sideways, 4-wheel sliding, no opposite lock. Car just sliding right out onto the ripple strip easily. Car, good balance. And Clarkie all over. So tough luck there for a few, as I just reading through some of the comments on the YouTube there in the chat box there. A couple of guys lamenting about their race. It's a very short race so far. Talking about the showers and red wine and just relaxing and kicking back and watching the stream. And there's nothing wrong with that either, boys. We'd love to see you out on track, but yeah, please do stay tuned in as the race continues. Like we mentioned, a little over 40 minutes to go. Here still 7 cars. It's pretty well dropped the field by a third already. But still plenty of racing yet to. Steve Crossan punching out the numbers out in front. Surprised he doesn't have the fastest lap time, to be honest, J-Man. But,
and the other thing as well too, mate, is the 27 car, the Pete Dawson. Aston Martin. You know, we talked about Pete being back in the pits early, couple of times.
Yes.
Now, he provisionally sees himself out of a 21-car field sitting in P14 right now.
2 laps down as well.
Yep, he's 2 laps down, but look, he'll keep forging forward over the next 40-odd minutes and see where he falls on this thing, because obviously there's still plenty more action left to come. And look, he's potentially, I don't know, we'll try and get a read. Maybe Firth, he's tuned into the chat. I can tell you now that the energy, I can't quite see the fuel for PD, but he's got 62% energy with 39.5 minutes to go. Firthy, if you tune in, what would that look like to a driver out on track? Could he make it home from there, or is that just a little step too far?
So, as the shadows are long gone and they've got low and disappeared as the sun continues to set here, lights are ablaze. This will clearly run into, well,
the dark.
A semi-dark, you know, dusk style race here. Which is just another test for the boys' skills here again tonight. Nathan Bewley actually in the pits, J-Man. We'll just pick up, yes, definitely on the jacks.
Yeah, so he's just grabbing some fuel and I'll reset the VE. It's going to hear the rattle guns going on the Bewley Mustang as we speak.
Yep.
Sitting there waiting to drop. I'll be interested to see what the energy that this thing comes out with has. Yeah, so he's got 100% V remaining versus somebody like Pete Dawson, who's got about 58. So PD may be coming back through the lane at some point in this race, but never say never. It's a long way to go. We've already seen, like I mentioned, around about 7 cars not making it even to the halfway distance. Firthy could give up some of his 98% energy left. Yeah. I reckon he's got one more tyre than you two, Firthy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that one that fell off still good on Firthy's car, you know, if they drag that one back, you know.
So this is Pete Dawson. He's trying to get a lap back on Nathan Bewley. So I'm just interested in PD's progress here.
Trying to round up one of the Mustangs there in, I think that's Bewley's Mustang, J-Man.
Yep.
Probably rolled out of the pits there, just coming up to speed. The number 77 car, as we see PD, number 27 in the Aston Martin.
You've got crossing up the road from them, but you've got Tony Spence just tucked in behind them, and he's a legit P2, so there'll be blue flags, I would expect. Yeah, there they are, flashing on the side of the fence there. So the blue lights are flashing. So that will be by way of Tony Spence, has right of passage to go through. I'm not sure how the game arbitrates this sort of stuff, but you certainly would want to
soon find out as we just see
Spence on the lights.
Spence on the lights on Bewley. So looking out of the back of the Bewley car as we speak.
What is that?
Don't know. That is
the funny camera. That one.
The rear shot of Pete Dawson's butt. Whatever that is. Here we go.
Yep. Through on him, and then Dawson's next. Oh, and I tell you what, Spence really late to there.
Oh, give. That looks sketchy.
That's Matt Clark. That's Matty Clark down the inside of Spence for position. So while that was all going on, Matty Clark, the opportunist, gets down there. Oh, he gets a big tag now.
Look at that. He's just like, hang on. That's my spot. Get back there with Bewley. You
Tell
work
me
it out
there's
with
not
him.
a good feeling out there, Davo.
Wow. Just looking at that, and look at this.
Oh, that was a, yeah, it was a, yeah.
There's plenty of heart in it here tonight.
The
No
interim
bucket of it.
crossman. Just every time that stuff goes on, that's just all to the tune. To Steve Crossan now 5.8 seconds down the road. Trying to look at the margins, seeing who's where. Costas Makrolos making some inroads out at P8 into Perko and P7. Lily Glass with a good performance so far as well. P11.
Spin, and Clark. At
That's
it.
right. Oh, once again, Spence awkward through the first part of that chicane. Just invites Matty Clark to have a big look down at the Lesmo 1. This is the spot to be, Davo. Who was that up the road ahead of him? Really, really close. Oh, that's Pete Dawson once again. And he's chasing down.
Yeah, who's he
Ken Worcester.
hanging with there?
Yeah, for position, and that is for position.
Okay,
Both 2 laps
yep.
down.
Yeah,
So
two
this
laps
is Pete
down those
Dawson on
boys.
the comeback.
So
Yep.
clearly both of those boys, and they're dodging a web. They're having the fight of their own there.
Yep.
As we watch these two at it, Tony Spence, Matthew Clark. And look at the dodging and weave going on here. These guys at it hard.
Oh, Clarkie and Spence. That is textbook stuff down into Parabolica.
And it's still on. It's going to be a drag race. Who's got the punch in a straight line? And the Aston tucked in behind once again.
Oh, mate. I'll tell you what. I reckon Spence needs to pucker up down into this turn 2,
Here we
turn
go.
3.
Oh, wow.
So fast through there. 270k an hour as they tip it into turn 1. Super tight. Read on the energy levels on these cars, Davo. So we know that Tony Spence got around 35% VE left versus Matty Clark's 34. So
they're pretty close. They're pretty close, aren't they?
Very similar.
So going hard at it, because neither of them are backing off, are they? There's no conservation mode in these guys. I don't think it's in their DNA, mate. The conserve? What?
Yeah. Now we saw how well Matt Clark managed the traffic when Tony Spence got to, I think last time round, when he got to one of the other lap cars to get Worcester there, just steps aside. Oh, now Spence in deep to Parabolica.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it definitely does. Just got him out of his out of the rhythm there.
Woo! Tell ya, it's not done. It's not done.
Oh, it's definitely not done here. Look at the pace on Spencer's car. Straight away attacks again.
Super slippery, that
McLaren. Yep. I think it might have a bit of a flatter wing on it than the Aston, because the Aston spread it out, Davo. The Aston definitely keeps up in the twisty stuff. So yeah, on the brakes. Oh, big hit. Deals with it.
It does deal with it well. And look at this Bewley. Right there.
He's just tagged on there, isn't he? Just like, I need to chase these guys. Because so when they pit, So what are we looking at? Where is Bewley? He's a lap down, isn't he?
Bewley is a lap down, yeah, but
Yep.
also he will be in a good position by way of energy. So 82% VE versus the likes of Spence now down to 30%.
Yep.
Clark,
So
he'll
yet
be
to
down
pit.
to 29, 28%. So yet to pit. So what does that do? He'll get his lap back. And so looking down through the field, just looking at margins.
Oh man, these guys are at it. This is the fight on the track at the moment here. This is for the provisional podium, isn't it, J-Man? Crossland out in another postcode already. Oh, is that Crossland in? Why have we got... Yes, Crossland in.
Yeah,
to
in
the
the
pit
box,
lane.
mate, in the box. Refueling
So-
that thing,
so
ready for
Spence-
the run home.
Leading the race at the moment, Matty Clark. Right on, and are these guys having a ding-dong or what? Man, it doesn't get more fierce than this when it comes to full-on race battles here. Look
Side
at
to
the
side.
ass, and has he gone way too deep? He gathers it up, only
Oh,
just.
Now,
Wow.
you've got to be careful here. Could get overtaken by Bewley. Bewley has already made a stop, but that'll just go towards inroads into trying to get back in the fight once these guys make their stops, which won't be that far away. But that is what Tony Spence was looking for. But I think Matty Clark did a beautiful job to get out of that, because if he had stayed with it, I would suspect we probably would have seen two cars facing the wrong way.
Yeah, or in the wall. Or both.
Yep. Or both, yeah. Costas Makalos and Merlin the Magician, aka Perko, they're really, really going for a good battle at the moment. So a couple of Mustangs trading sometimes on the same piece of real estate. To see
Well-
Sam Wozniak in the Ferrari there. P7 chucking along quite nicely as Sam.
Just right on board with old Perko here for a moment, J-Man.
Yep. Crossy doing a great job too. Obviously came back in provisionally P8, but made that pit stop, and have no doubt that once the cars in front of him make their stops, he will go to the front. He had a very, very good lead and is doing everything right at round 3 here at Monza.
And we expect him to obviously hold that lead once all the pit stops have shaken out. J-Man as he's just run a faultless race so far. I'm not going to put the commentators' close on you, Crossy. I
Have we
promise.
got? Oh, I thought one of these top two might have been coming to pits, because Matty Clark has closed that margin back down after that little
Again.
bit of an incident. Yeah,
Between
so
him and
Stephen
Spence,
closed it
yep.
down.
So look at if we were just watching out of the while these two were going at it. You could see as we were looking over out of the in car from Spencer's car, the back of Clark's car slightly damaged on the back, and now we know. Well, Tony Spencer's going to have a little bit of damage on the front. Does the pace between these two equalise a little bit? The McLaren has looked very quick in a straight line, and the Aston a little bit better around the corners. But in saying all that, look at Bewley and the Mustang, J-Man, just hanging with those boys.
Yeah, and he knows what's coming when these guys go to pit. That this will all sort of play itself out. But hey, look, the Clark car, albeit slower in a straight line down the big straight, maybe even that straight outside of Ascari, between Ascari and Parabolica, and then obviously Parabolica to Curva Grande, he was still 4/10 of a second faster in the previous lap than Tony Spence.
Yep.
So this thing dealing with the corners a lot better than the McLaren. You can just see there, he did run a little bit wide out of Ascari.
Pushing.
Very, very hard.
And this is getting close. Clark holding down the fastest lap of the race so far, chasing down Tony Spence. This has been a great fight, J-Man, so far. And with no love lost between these two. God, haven't we seen the elbows out? Oh, was that a fake to the pits?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was 100%.
He would have never stopped that if he'd gone in there.
Yeah. Steve Crossland approaching Sam Wozniak. Now, Steve obviously pit stop, Sam hasn't. Sam almost looks like he's sort of, a little bit of a thank you there from Steve Crossland. Flash of the lights, just saying to Sam, thank you very much. Going through. Sam flashes the lights in return just to say, you go get him, mate. He's doing a beautiful job. That moves him up to B7. But that's Spence covering. Clark's going to go down the inside and Lesmo one here.
Yeah, look, but Spence not one to give any space again. Shutting the door on Clarky. Clark through though this time. But look at the pace of this McLaren in a straight line.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Side by side already with Spence on the inside to Ascari. And Clark just gets out.
He's got no choice, but look at him.
And he's just so much faster through the mid phase of the corner. He's just, I feel like if he could get a second or two, or a second ahead of him and try and maintain that lap time, he might be able to do enough. Maybe it's time. What does the energy look like? So we're down to 13% for Tony Spence. Matty Clark's 12%. Does he go in this time?
Are these guys side by side again? Yes, they are.
Now watch Spence here. Watch the straight line speed. Pulls out. Almost shags the back bumper on the way out.
Oh, so close, Jamie. And we've seen it lap after lap, and here they go again into this flat-out right-hander.
Brilliant stuff.
As the light fades and more contact again as he can't gather it this time, and he's in the fence hard from Spence. No.
And that sees Gunther Rowe go through now, so...
Clark, oh no, Spence looks like he's got all four wheels on that car, mate. He could have easily pulled that thing out of that wall with only 3 wheels on it.
That's got up through on Spence also, and then we will have, just trying to see who's where. Okay, that'll be about it. I think that's the damage. But it really just goes to show that that gap that Crossland's going to have when he comes out is going to be big.
Plenty going on. As we wind down, what do we got left? About a little over 20 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a heated battle so far, particularly between Matty Clark and Tony Spence. But Spence in and out of the wall and in recovery mode at the moment. The light is fading. The lights are on the track and on the cars. J-Man, sorry.
Look at it. It's left hand down, that car too. It's not happy. That car of Tony Spence's proper bent. He is left hand down, probably quarter of a turn.
Into the pit lane.
He's got some damage to repair.
That's unfortunate.
Then he'll just hear the 59 car, the McLaren of Steve Crossan, just come whistling past pit lane there.
Yep.
As he just jumps up on the jacks. So that was the battle effectively for a podium, and I think that's really hurt Tony Spence there. He's quite prepared to engage with Matty Clark, and Matty Clark was quite prepared to do the same back. So
that was definitely a two-way tango there, mate.
Yeah. I feel like both of them showed their intent. So sometimes that's what happens when you want to race that hard. I'm not complaining. Neither are you, Davo.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Putting on a great show, as is Steve Crossan, as we just see him hopping off the curbs there through the first chicane.
Just hooked up.
Oh, it is so hooked up. Nice work. Goddard now carrying provisional third position. I think yet to pit, as is Gunther Rowe and Matthew Clark. So just watch that space. There's a few there. I think Makalos hasn't been in either. So Crossan currently sitting in fifth provisionally. We would definitely say leader of the race at the moment. Who would you put in second position at the moment? Matt Clark?
Yeah, look, provisionally, yeah, I think so, but
yep.
I don't know how that all shakes out post-race stewarding and stuff, but
sure.
I think potentially on track. Look at the big lift that was Nathan Bewley behind.
I saw that.
I like the look of Nathan Bewley here. I think.
Look. Well, if he gets in front of Clark, because he's out of position, he's just going to get a blue flag anyway, isn't he?
Yep.
So you may as well just wait. He's got the BE and the fuel. Does he just wait it out? Wait for Clark to roll into the pit lane.
So Goddard comes out, right? He's now got 44% VE remaining, 58 litres of fuel.
And
now
what do we got? 17 minutes to go. Little under 18 minutes. Sorry, Jay.
Now, Goddard comes out, and what is effectively, as long as my pit board doesn't go whack, he comes out in fifth. Crossan's now in fourth, provisionally. You've still got Costas, Gunther, and Matty Clark to pit, but what does that do for Goddard? Because technically, is that saying that he's now P2?
Yeah, this is
really,
Clark.
Really smart play. Oh, he's off on the gravel, so just get to terms with maybe a slightly cooler tyre after a pit stop.
So that was Goddard, did you say?
Yeah, so just, look, he's just had a quiet, successful move forward.
So I think that is Rowe and Clark. So Rowe is tucked right in behind Clark at the moment.
And Tony Spence parks the car. That's it. Calls it a night.
So another DNF and Gunther out early. Taking Clarkie. Clarkie will have damage on that car. We've seen that car has literally been in a bloody fist fight for the first two-thirds of the race.
Watch this one here. Crossan through already, but Goddard out of Parabolica. Rowe accelerating, so Gunther Rowe effectively. Well,
he ran out. He ran out in front. He dropped off the jacks. He was out of there.
Yeah, he got out before Clark. Does Goddard beat Clark? Yes, he does.
He does.
So there's your provisional podium as Steve Crossan, Gunther Rowe, George Goddard.
Yep.
Makalos coming out of the pit lane. Well,
there you go. Hasn't it? And it's taken probably not. Well, you never know with these things, but probably not the way we saw it half an hour ago. Well, definitely not an hour ago, but not even half an hour ago. So these guys really have got the fists out tonight. There's been some very heated exchanges so far. But that is, I think, with the, like J-Man just mentioned, with the pit stop shakeout, that is the provisional front row there. Steve Crossan, Gunther Rowe, and George Goddard. Clarkie probably lucky not to have lost more time, to be honest, but fairly big gap back to Costas Makalos behind him there. So got plenty of fresh air to lament on what could have been. Does he still have time to chase Goddard down, J-Man? Do you think Clark's got the pace for Goddard in, what have we got here, just looking at the time, under 15 minutes?
Okay, so we'll try and get a read.
He looks close enough. I mean, just looking at Clark's pace so
3 seconds.
far, yeah.
Yeah, good effort. Ken Worcester done nothing wrong. He's up there, pressing hard. Pete Dawson, what's the margin there? Okay, so he's got Pete in his sights now. Ken, sorry, that's Pete Dawson in the lane. So Ken.
Oh, so Pete, okay.
Yeah, because he needed more energy / fuel. He's down to 2.7%. Now Ken Worcester, he has got 60 litres of fuel on board and 29% VE left for just under 14 minutes. He's just see him roll off.
We saw that. We just picked up the in-car Worcester.
It's a parabolica, yeah. So is that Ken Worcester really
conserving?
Conserving, just saving the energy? He's comfortably going to grab PD here in the pit lane.
Now, we did see, I think, was actually Worcester in front of PD earlier. Been a pit stop since then. Guys are swapped positions, but here we are. Now, Ken will definitely have a bit of a gain on PD here, so because Pete only just rolling out of the pit lane now.
Yep.
Get a bit of a flash.
Give you an idea of this this margin that's already down to 2.8 between George Goddard and Matty Clark. So 42.2 for the last lap for George Goddard, and a 42.0 for Matty Clark. So two more tenths there he made. So he's going to need more than that, given that 12 3/4 minutes left and 2.8 seconds. He's probably going to have to start looking to take out half a second chunks, because it'll be one thing to get there.
You've got to get past.
That thing aero hungry, so it's good through the tight stuff, not so good in a straight line.
And he's certainly got to keep his head here too and not push too hard. It's easy to overdrive the car in these situations too. You can see the carrot in front of him. He would love the position back to put himself back onto that podium, but so easy to overdrive here with the time ticking down. Goddard, he's just got to keep a cool head here. Clark with more to lose than Goddard at the moment.
So, just want to shout out to, mentioned earlier, Lily Glass, P10, got enough fuel and energy to bring this thing home. So just keep their nose clean and just doing the business.
Nice work.
Chris Croat, he's about 1.7 behind, so there'll be a battle forming there before the end of this one. Also, Perko, Merlin the Magician.
Oh yeah, Perko.
Can he make the inroads to 2.5 seconds to the tune to get up to Sam Wozniak?
To Wozniak. Oh, Wozniak with a big slip out of the first of the Lesbos there.
Yep.
So looking a little bit sketchy in the Ferrari there. Is Wozniak. LP on the hunt.
Oh, Clark pushing hard. May have lost a tenth or two there. Really just asking a little bit too much of the car down through.
I think that would be his failure at this end of the race, Jamie. Is just pushing too hard. He can see Goddard in front of him. The time is ticking. What have we got? It's bloody 10 minutes to go. And
Croat now. Croat, Lily Glass. Sorry, Davo.
Side by side. Down to the parabolica.
Gets the job done. And obviously, Perko gets through on Ken Worcester. Is an out of position car, and he tries to make that inroads into Sam Wozniak, but that margin blown out a little bit further by about another 4 tenths to Wozniak. So hard work, working on millimeters, and they need inches. At the moment, a few of these guys, aka Matty Clark now 2.9 seconds. So John Goddard's winning that battle in the closing stages with 9.5 minutes to go, and also Sam Wozniak just goes through there. And last lap round, I think he was 212 versus Perko's 143. So what happened to Sam Wozniak there? So it's now 1.6 seconds. So something happened to Sam Wozniak, because that gap has just dropped another second out of it.
Yeah, so the car did look loose the last time we picked it up on camera, J-Man, and to be honest, it almost looked like, I don't know, like he wasn't quite on it. You know how when was he maybe conserving, and you know what it's like when you start to get out of your rhythm and start to back off a little bit. We see him flashing his headlights. G'day, Sam, if you can hear us there. But yeah, just the car looks fine in a straight line. Hit the numbers, right sort of pace. But a little bit loose. Clearly affecting his times, as we see. That is LP tucked up behind in the 77 car and on the move, like J-Man just mentioned. So
it's trending in the right direction now for Perko. The Matty Clark George Goddard battle's kind of plateaued out at that 2.7, 2.8 seconds. So Goddard responded, and might have picked him up. It was awkward into the chicane then. It was awkward. He lost about 6 tenths of a second then.
Who's that?
George Goddard just had a little bit of a moment coming into the chicane. And now Clarkie's got clear vision of him through Lesmo 1 and 2.
Oh, look, this is on with over 7 minutes to go. This is going to heat up. We're just looking over the rear wing of Wozniak's car.
Yep.
To LP.
No such issues for Croston, though, Dave. He's 13 seconds out in the front.
Clark and Goddard getting particularly close there now, aren't they?
Yeah, he's making inroads, so I'll just try and get a read on the lap times there last time round. So this will be Goddard crossing the line there. It goes through.
Oh, that's very close. With only, 6 minutes to go, that is probably closer than Goddard would like. Wozniak and LP. Again, these two. Oh, and again, a little wriggle from Wozniak. Yeah. It's really just every one of those little tiny unforced errors. And look at LP now. He's all over him.
Oh, and look at the nervousness of Wozniak's car through just that kink there, heading down to Ascari.
Oh, just trying to find the space. Lee's got to be so patient here. Wozniak clearly just struggling to keep that thing in check.
Tucks out for a little look, sees where the brake boards are, goes to the inside line into Parabolica.
Oh, Wozniak a little
Right
tiny,
up on the curb.
ever so slightly deep. Not enough
Yeah.
to cause him too much grief, but again, it's just that show of that little hairline crack in Wozniak's pace. Look at that in the background. Is that Steve Crossland coming up in the background? Yes, it is. Just to throw a little bit added spice to the mix.
No, it's not Crossy.
Yes, it is. He's coming up behind Wozniak and Merlin right now.
Crossland's behind Worcester.
Yes, which is just behind Wozniak and Lee Perkins. Oh, yeah, he's right there. He's just...
Oh, no, he is. Yeah, okay, so he's already caught those. That's a long way up. Wozniak doing a good job just hanging on through that part. That was the part that I thought that maybe Merlin may have looked at having a crack. Here he goes once again as they come down this part of the racetrack. He's so close. It could be a timing thing, maybe, just to rob Peter to pay Paul here. Don't go hard into the first part of Ascari. Try and catch him on the way out.
Wozniak covering majorly. These guys will see Steve Crossland in the next couple of laps. They've only got a couple of laps to go, and he is coming that quick. You will see that McLaren come into their mirrors and get blue flags. Goddard and Clark, mind you.
Half a second.
Wow.
Half a second.
Right down to the end here. Clark hungry. Try and just salvage a little bit out of his race. He's been right up there. He's been way back.
So Wozniak got the benefit in the straight line over Merlin. You can see it as they tip through Curva Grande. He's just got the margin. However, Matty Clark right on the back of Goddard. So this will be Aston on Mustang. What is getting super tight now for the podium. They're going to get a couple more goes at this. Merlin now sizing up once again down into Ascari, sizing up. Sam Wozniak out to the outside. Tries to go around the outside. Can he do it? He's got it on the inside, which will become the outside. Gets it done, but we know how much pace that Ferrari's got. Now Clark now tucked right underneath the wing, coming up to the same bit of racetrack. Clark's car been good through the tighter stuff all night, Davo. Just lacked a little in a straight line, but man, it's been good through the tight stuff.
Wow, just wow. So much going on. Lee Perkins fast.
Line him up. Here he is. He's right underneath the wing now of George Goddard. They've got the luxury, but they're probably going to get this one. Here is Crossland.
Oh, Crossland just... Wozniak let Crossland through.
Right.
Like just after... Lee got past him. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
To the outside.
Last lap of the race, pretty well. Wow, that is close.
Tucks back in before the chicane.
Oh, the heart rates will be up here.
Has a look to the inside. Look, Goddard knows
he's got
there.
the overlap. He's got the overlap. He's got to leave the space. Well, it's going to be hell of a scene.
Yeah, look at that. So much respect. Look at this. Too wide. And
10 seconds to run. This will be
Clark gives him the room too on exit. So is this it? This is the final lap.
Where is Steve Crossland?
He's coming down a parabolica as we speak, so this will be it.
No, well, not for these boys. They're going to do another lap.
Yep, they are. So Crossland.
So it is not over for George Goddard and Matthew Clark.
Comes through to take the checkers, does Steve Crossland. What a fantastic drive from Crossy.
Yeah, awesome stuff there. Lee Perkins.
Beautiful.
And Sam Wozniak with a fantastic battle that Crossland snuck up on in the background on. Plenty
Goddard's
going on.
Hold on here. Gunther Rowe for second. Goddard holds on for the podium. P3. Matty Clark with a valiant effort there for P4. And Bewley. Talked about Bewley earlier on. Just chipping away. He's going to come home top 5.
Wow. What a finish. Lee Perkins on Sam Wozniak. Lee Perkins. Matty Clark, should I say, on Goddard. Just crazy stuff. Right down to the wire, J-Man. Awesome stuff. Nathan Bewley. 5th position. Costas Makalos coasting the Mustang home. Probably run out of VE. He's working on it. He's on his way. He's on his way. In 6th position, Adrian Kramer in 7th in one of the BMWs. And Lee Perkins going around for, what do you call that? You know, just to wave the hand out the window.
Yeah.
Victory lap. That's what they call it. Victory lap. Yes, Lee Perkins in 8th. Sam Wozniak in 9th. Chris Crote running at the top 10. J-Man. Lily Glass in 11th. Pete Dawson in 12th. Kenneth Worcester in 13th. And then we'll go to the DNFs. And that is a list, I tell you. Tony Spence, first off the list. Isaac Ichikawa, Hemi Bateman, Craig McConnell, Shane Fodado, Joseph Amani, Edward Thackeray, and Nick Firth. Wow. Just wow. An epic race that was. J-Man.
Yeah, fantastic stuff
Wow.
there. Well done. We won't hold these guys up too long. I might go straight for our race winner because I know they've got admin to do in the way of, all things.
All sorts of stuff. That's right.
So we will grab this guy down and bring him to the booth. What was a fantastic night. Crossy, you got us on comms?
Yeah, mate. How you going?
Mate, that was an outstanding performance from start to finish, and I'm going to say including official practice. I saw you there, obviously tuned in there, had a bit of a catch up on Twitch, and then kept an eye on what was everything Steve Crossland tonight, which was just phenomenal, mate. Meat and drink, you could say.
Mate, it's been a long time between drinks, that's for sure. That's all I was saying. I haven't won a race in a proper organised league since ASRNZ days, I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask the question statistically, when was the last time you stood on the top step, Crossy? You do run
It's been a while.
very, very competitive fields across the board. You know, we've always known you as Fast Crossy, so we know the performances you can put on, but a little bit of time between drinks, but man, that's an emphatic victory. Like, that is dominant.
Yeah, that was, had a bit of help, had a couple of setups thrown at me during the week to try out. And immediately just bang, half second quicker.
Yeah, nice.
And on the pace, you know, like it wasn't like normally I come top 5 maybe if I'm really fast, if I'm lucky, but it was just there, and everyone else was struggling, and the McLaren was just peeling it down the straight. So yeah, it just all came together. I was struggling in practice during the week with the car, losing the back end, but just changed my driving a little bit and it all just fit.
Just gelled. And it wasn't just a qualifying car though. The car just raced it, like it went the distance as well.
Yeah, had a little bit of help with some engineers in my chat.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
nice.
One in
Talk to us
particular was
about
helping with my strategy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Maddie, thank
cool.
you. So she wasn't racing tonight, so that did help a little bit, just to make
Yeah.
sure I had enough to get to the end and
Yeah.
those sort of things. I know, but yeah, no, car was good, and I was just watching the gap and maintaining, and just trying not to make any mistakes. So love it. I'm stoked. That's awesome.
So, Crossy, talk to us about quali. We saw you there. I'd like to know what the margin was before you crossed the line. We do know that it was about 0.4 of a second off your personal best, which was a 40.01 or something. But was it like 2 seconds when you crossed the line in qualifying to get that last lap in? Did you notice that?
Yeah, that last lap was actually about half second off the pace.
Yep.
I didn't bring that one home. It was the lap before that where I had a good lap already in the first half of qualifying.
Yep.
And then I noticed, I think it was Hemi. Hemi got me by
39.9. Yep.
Yeah. And I knew I had a 39 in me, but just couldn't gather it all up in one go. And sort of had it, but not on that final lap. And no, it just wasn't going to come. But I finished the lap anyway. So.
Yeah, well done, mate. Hey, look, fantastic performance. Well deserved, man. We're so stoked for you. You know, especially on nights, you know, when you've got to come out here and you guys put on a fantastic show. You know, there's a lot of organisation that goes into these things, and often a lot on your mind as an admin. And to come out and do a performance like that's just phenomenal, Matt. Congratulations, and man, I'd love to see you at the top step again soon, because you know you've got it in you.
You're not the only one, but it's going to be tougher. Harder than it sounds, you know.
Yeah. Nah, awesome stuff, Crossy, mate. Appreciate the chat, and good luck getting a sleep tonight, buddy.
I reckon, yeah. Thanks, boys.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Steve Crossan from P1. We'll grab a word now that we've sort of let the boss go and maybe organise a few things. We'll grab P2 down here. Gunther Rowe, you got us on comms?
Hello. Yep. How are you?
Good, G. And yourself, mate. Bloody fantastic performance, mate. Keep your nose clean really early on the piece and drove that home to a very, very comfortable second position, mate. It was all pretty much gone to plan.
Yeah. I knew beforehand, like I could get within a tenth or so of the fastest cars in quali, but the BMW just does not do well on tires. So I made this the dumbest of dumbed down setups. So I just knew I had no pace. All I had to do was just keep each lap consistent, and
Just
that's what I was
drive it.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just
That
drive
was
it.
such a nightmare.
Yeah. Well,
Now-
well. Look, it played out at the end because it's just plenty of carnage going on around you, and the fists were out. You know, I tell you, throughout the field. So plenty of battles going on.
Yeah.
And you just sailed through it all, like just unscathed. It seemed like.
I didn't in the first chicane lap 1. I got had to give the position back to Hemi.
Oh,
and you've got
okay.
15 seconds to serve it. So I lifted, and he just drove straight into the back of me.
Oh,
so
no.
I lost that's why I went from second to sixth and took damage straight away.
Yeah.
So I wasn't unscathed, and I was just like, this is not what was supposed to happen. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that, what that looks like for ourselves and maybe the viewers at home that don't play the game. So obviously you've now got to think on your feet, Gunther, and you've got fuel and virtually energy to think about still during the race, even with that contact. Now you've got to come into the pit lane at some point on a scheduled stop. And you obviously got to repair that, or you can decline to repair that, or what's the situation there, mate? What is it worth to you in a pit stop when you do have to repair something like that?
I was losing 3 kilometers out top speed, but it seemed like I was okay. That's why I never really got back onto the guys when I was in, I don't know, whatever position I was in, 5th or 6th or something like that. I could just couldn't catch. But also I didn't know now. I know now, but I didn't know then that Aston in front of me also had about the same sort of damage as well from something.
It did.
So we were both like just sort of stuck in no man's land, and all I was really trying to do was just keep it consistent for the to keep a gap and keep building on the corners where I was stronger, which was sort of like the Lesmos, and the car definitely wasn't good into the first chicane after I took damage for some reason. So I was losing like 3 temps there, but then I'd get it up in the 2 Lesmos, and most of the time in the Ascari it was pretty good. And if I got the line right out of, I think they used to call it parabolic, I don't know what they call it now, but anyway, onto the start finish.
We still call it parabolic.
Yeah. If I got a reasonably good, like just got that nice and smooth. I could
Yep.
maybe get a 10th there initially, and then
Yep.
I'd lose it down the line, but that was okay. Like it was just literally playing the pluses and minuses throughout it.
For sure.
VE and fuel, I just sort of figured just keep it as simple as I possibly could, and I knew I was going to be like half a lap over fueled, and I didn't really think there was going to be an opportunity to fuel save unless I was sitting on the back of somebody for a long time. So I just drove until the lap, I think, where most of the guys pitted, is the latest pitters pitted,
Yep.
and then popped out, which just shortens your pit stop a little bit anyway, because you're only chucking a small amount of fuel and VE obviously, which is the time.
Yeah.
And the option not to repair. Gee, was it?
Yeah. I actually turned it on by mistake coming into the pits when I was adjusting my VE the last time. I was like, oh shit, flicked it back up, turned it off, nearly missed the pit stop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I got it on there.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, mate.
Nice work.
Yeah,
Nice work.
fantastic podium, mate, and a well-deserved one. And like looking at it, mate, you know, like with obviously with the challenges that you faced at the start, and then you know had a long way to drive home with that. And I thought you know you had a great performance. I think Crossy was clearly on a mission tonight, but you were the best of the rest. And then yeah, fantastic stuff. So well done, Gunther.
Yeah, well, when we were practicing, I get no draft off Crosby. Like I've come out, last night we came out of Parabolica. I was 1/10 behind him, and I could only get one wheel, my front wheel in front of his back wheel, by the Curva Grande. He just gives no draft off that car. With the other cars, I could have get something. So I knew even if I could have caught Crosby, which wasn't going to happen because his car was quicker anyway. But even if I got behind him, I wouldn't have physically got past him because there's just no chance. So I was like, okay, it's all worked out to plan as much as it ever was going to be. I'll let Crosby do his thing, and I'll just sit here and just mind the gap behind me basically, and don't fall off the track. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, good times.
Well done, mate. Awesome. Well
Cheers.
done. Yep. So that is Gunther Rowe there from P2 at round 3. What a fantastic result. And I think I'm going to grab George down here, Davo, because
I think you've got to.
Yeah, I have to, because he did an absolute stellar job on defending that third position, the podium from Matty Clark. So, George, you got us on comps?
Hey, boys.
Mate, how was that for a race, mate? Fantastic. First and foremost, congratulations on the podium. But
yeah, cheers.
Did you smash the rear vision mirror off that thing or what?
Oh, man, I was just trying to be consistent and yeah, not look in the mirrors too much. But oh man, there was definitely some pressure by the end of that.
Hard not to look in the mirrors because it was all there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, hey, well, look, kudos to you, mate, because before that defense, show came on at hand, you actually did a lot of good things right before that, and you actually snuck up on the radar on us. And I think while Matt Clark and and were getting into a battle, and that you were just out there punching the lap times and doing all the right things to put yourself in that position to start with. So, like, albeit there was a lot of action going on up the road ahead of you to start with, and I think you just drove a very, very clean race. Pretty much just kept your nose clean by the look of it. Was it the car unscathed, or did you cop a little bit of damage anywhere?
No, I had no damage, and it was funny because I sort of missed the start as well. So I qualified 9th, I think, and then up to turn 1, I was 15th, and then there was that big crash in front of me.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good thing that I actually missed my start, or else I probably would have been right in the middle of that.
Yeah, okay. So that was sort of mid-pack, wasn't it, that big
accident? So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. And then, just really focused on trying to do, consistent 41s and only a couple of 42s in there. But, mostly 41s, and just do that lap after lap and try and keep it clean,
Yeah, no, it was, mate, I'll tell you what, it was a certainly a good display at the back end. And like the last lap, you really put your head down and focus, because you actually finished with probably the biggest gap you'd had in the past 4 laps on the last one. So it was a full focus job from yourself. And as well as anybody, that any day you get on the podium here at Rainlight Racing is a good day, and especially on a track which appeared to be a battle of attrition as well. Big portion of the field not finishing. So
what was it, like 8 DNFs or something?
I think it was something like that, mate. It's the number we haven't seen in a fair while. So, yeah, certainly wasn't a number I was expecting out of Monza for sure.
Yeah, no, it was good.
But no, well done, mate. Congratulations on the podium. Well deserved. And yeah, look forward to seeing next week. It should be a good one.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, George. All right, so there you go. That was the podium, folks. And what a fantastic night of racing.
Special.
Yeah, a couple of really, really good battles going on there. And, you know,
Absolutely.
like kudos to Crossy going out there and just an absolute demolition job, clinical performance. But the likes of Goddard, Clarkey at the end, but also Clarkey with his battle throughout the night as well with Tony Spence and co. I think there was just, there was some fantastic battles going on. Wozniak.
Busy race, J-Man.
Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate the support for all our viewers staying with us and tuning in. We do really appreciate it. And look,
absolutely.
I'll pass it back to the boss, man, and let you tune this one up.
Thank you very much, J-Man. And yes, what a spectacular night, actually. Some really good close stuff. Like I said, the gloves were off a few times there, I think, tonight. Great to have J-Man again, obviously calling it with me. We're going to thank the SIMBLACKS guys for jumping on board again with Rainlight Racing again for Series 9 here in the 2025 LMU Series Match Fit. Ourselves, Davo and J-Man, bringing it to you live on the YouTubes. Hit the like and subscribe buttons before you run away, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, viewers, again for joining us here tonight. Let me just see if I can get a calendar up so I can tell you exactly what's going on next week. It is Fuji, ladies and gentlemen. God, some of these tracks we have never called. So, and a big fan of Fuji. So look forward to that. Thank you once again. And we'll see you all again next week, Monday night at Fuji. Bye for now.